Today, I'm going to show you why I believe we've been living in the best part of Wales. Rural Wales, but I think the best part of it. This is based on our experience, our 3 years living here. We live in Ceredigion County in Aberystwyth, a small town called Aberystwyth. Rural Wales, honestly, rural Wales, but the experience has been amazing. 3 years ago, when we moved here, I knew no one, I knew nothing about this place, but I honestly think it's the best part of Wales. And I hope you can see that today. I'm in the car because I've just finished the school run, and then I'm gonna go to town and a bit of the beach. So come with me and you will see why. I hope by the end of this video, I will have convinced you why this is the best place to live. And if you're considering a life in rural Wales, rural England, you will tell me whether it's something you consider. But I'll tell you my pros, my reasons why I think it's the best place. I'll also tell you the inconveniencing stuff or the not so good stuff, and then you can make a judgment for yourself. Welcome to A Broad Perspective. I am Karen Ekwang. I share my journey of relocating abroad, living abroad. We talk about mindset shifts on how to thrive abroad, not just live, not just get by. So we talk about all things abroad. Thank you for all the love you've shown me in the previous videos. Thank you to our new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. And if you like this video, if you would like more content like this, let me know in the comments. Share it with your friends, give it a like so this can reach more people. So first of all, Wales, so it's part of the United Kingdom, England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Yeah, it might not be so obvious to you if you don't live in Britain. But anyway, so we come to Wales and we come to rural Wales 3 years ago. I know no one. This place is called Aberystwyth. It's in Midwest Wales, Ceredigion County. I knew nothing about it. We knew nothing. We knew no one. It was, I would call it a blind move, I guess. Would you call it a blind move? But yeah, I think all our moves have been blind moves. So we moved here 3 years ago because of my husband's work. Yeah, and it's just been amazing. So the one thing about this place is we are close to the beach and we are close to the mountains. You don't get that anywhere. It's not easy to get that. So we have, like, from where we stay, we have Clarat, which is one. We have the beach in town. We have Inislas. We have both. Like about 4 beaches options we have to go to. And then we have the mountains, Nantararian. Please, Welsh people, you'll forgive me if I'm not pronouncing them well. We have lots of woods. So there's lots of like nature and recreational activities that we can do while we are here, which is just amazing. But we're gonna get to the beach and then we'll talk more about life here. It's not a very big town. It's just like, actually the high street is one street, but it has the basics. Like it has the essential stores, the essential shops. It has the essentials. That is what is most important. Yeah, here we go. This is our route to town. My girls' school is quite a bit of distance from our house, but here we don't have catchment areas like England. So basically, you can go to any school. And the most amazing thing about that school is You know, you'd think in rural Wales you would not have diversity, but because of the uni and the hospital here, there's lots of other nationalities. So for her school, they have like 40 different nationalities. And they have this thing at every year they call International Evening where people showcase their cultures. So she really, kids just feel right at home. And it's okay to be different. There's no, as far as I know, in that school, I can't talk about other schools, there's no um, segregation or discrimination. I feel like I find that kids are just happy to be themselves and know it's okay. It's okay to be the way you are. Yeah. So let's just go and find parking and then actually let's go to the beach. Hopefully we can find some parking along the beach. I don't have to feel so cold. One thing about Wales is narrow roads. Narrow, narrow roads, like horse roads. Like I know this is town, but wait until you go to some of the mountain roads. I wish I could show you. Anyway, let's walk, take a walk along the beach and talk. So I'm here just walking along the beach. And actually, there are people swimming. Like the craziness, guys, I don't know. There are people swimming in this cold and they're talking like they're having a chat, which means it's not like they're suffering in this cold like I am. I'm out here with gloves and stuff. So this town is along the beach, along the seaside. Amazing. So we have access to like 4 beaches from where we live. And then you also have access to the mountains. It's not easy. I find it's not easy to get the best of both worlds in terms of beach and mountains. Anyway, look at the sand. Nothing compared to our Mombasa or Diani, but compared to the rest of the UK, it's really nice. And in the summer, people are all out here, like just having fun. You can come and lie down, and because the days are long, it's just really, 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 really nice. So you can come to the beaches. The entertainment here or the recreation I find is more in nature as opposed to doing stuff, which depending on the kind of person you are, is a plus or a not. Because you can either come to the beach, you can go hiking. We take a lot of walks. We go hiking as a family. We just come here and lie down. I used to come here in the summer and lie down and let Olivia play with the water and play with the sand, and it's just really nice. So life here is very calm. I would say slower pace. That's the other thing. It's a slower pace compared to the cities. There's no traffic, there's no hassle. You can see the people taking walks right now along the beach. It's what? It's about 10 a.m. in the morning. So life is at a slower pace. There's no traffic, be more laid back. So if that's the kind of life you're looking for, the other thing we found in this place is people are kind. People are mostly warm. Yeah, they'll embrace you. It's easy to have a chat with random people on the street. We did that a lot. I did that a lot when I was new and just getting to know the area. And people would chat you and they'd chat my daughter. So it was really good. Because it's a small town, it's also easy to build rapport and relationships, like with people at your local shop, at your butcher. It's easy to know people, I'd say that, because you kind of sort of bump into the same faces all the time. Although this thing of, you never really know your neighbor and you don't really talk, is still true because I have neighbors that really I haven't talked to or I have talked to once, and some have come and moved and we haven't even had a chat. So there's that. But generally, I would say people are warm. And anyone who lives here will tell you people are warm. which is what you want when you move to a place anyway. What are you looking for? The views are amazing. We're going to go up to the castle area and then you'll be able to see a view of the town. The views are also amazing. You wake up to like really nice, uninterrupted views of the mountains and the hills. A lot of farming going on around here. Also, I find it interesting because next to the beach, agricultural land, something you don't find back home in Kenya. You're either at the beach, very hot, or you're in the highlands where farming takes place. But here, there's lots of sheep and lots of cows. So like I said, you have really nice views from anywhere in the town. Really like nice and interrupted views. This is the castle. I'm at the top of the castle now, and behind me is the town. Yeah, hope you can see that. The other reason this place is really nice to live is because I've talked about the people are warm. So when you build a community, it's easy to build an authentic community, so to speak, because the people will embrace you. And then you can be able to build a community from there. One of the best things that happened to me when we moved here is I joined a band. Like, just inadvertently, out of saying, oh, I've always wanted to sing and I've never sang, and a group of friends were forming a band and I was invited, and we formed a band. We were called Neptuners. We've had 2-3 gigs, 2 of which I've performed in, the other one I was not around. And the most amazing thing is we sing Kenyan songs. We sing Zilizopendo, we sing Sinamakosa. You know the song by Leswanika? We sing it, and I mean, our drummer and guitarist are able to adapt and play like the Kenyan tune. Of course, it has a different flair to it, but they're able to play it. And it just talks about the sort of embracing and, the kind of community you can build. And I can also sing their songs, and then we perform in gigs. And people actually enjoy the Swahili songs. So really, we've been able to build a really nice community. I think at the end of the day, the place is its people. And if you're able to like integrate and build a community, then it becomes really nice to live in. I mean, I have people I can call if I'm late to pick my daughter up. They can call me. I mean, if they need some sort of childcare, if I need the same, we can do the same. So being able to be a community, to be part of a community has been really amazing in this place. Yeah, I've talked about recreation activities are mostly with nature and they're free. You don't have to spend money to come and sit at the beach. You don't have to spend money to go and hike. There are so many picnic sites you can go to. Of course, parks are a given. It's really good and it's safe. That's the other thing, guys. This county is one of the safest counties in the UK. I know people who do not lock their doors at night or even lock them when they're going out during the day because basically it's just safe. Nobody bothers with anyone. I remember I dropped my wallet in Lidl. I didn't know. I went back after 2 days because I searched for it everywhere and they gave it back to me with everything plus the cash inside. It is safe. That's really one of the biggest things about this place. Aberystwyth is so safe. Well, I'll talk about where we live. Um, Maybe in some places in town might not be safe. I don't know. I've had one or two things, but generally it's very, very safe. It doesn't get better than this. Me singing in a band, she's running on the beach, she's safe, she's doing what she loves with her friends. I mean, you can't pay me enough money to recreate that experience. It was amazing. So it's really amazing to raise children in this place. One other thing I need to mention is the population of the area. Of course, it's not highly populated, and then it's mostly older people. So the interesting thing is mostly people come here to retire. So when people are getting older and they want to slow down, they come here. But remember, we have a uni, so you also have really young people around during the school period. And then over the summer, the tourists come in. So over the summer, you'll see a diverse group of people coming in as tourists. So that's how it is, but it's mostly the older people, and especially because of the slower pace of life. But we have really enjoyed, we've formed really, really good friendships. We've enjoyed entertainment is not so much in terms of, if you're an entertainment person, if you're a sherehe person, let me put it that way. Entertainment is not so much in terms of parties or clubs or restaurants. The options are limited. They're not many. They're just like, you will mostly find most people have one or two favorite spots they go to because the options are limited. But the other things in terms of, I've talked about recreation, the free stuff, that's easily accessible and easily available. So in terms of entertainment here, I would say, and some kids activities as well, you may not get a great variety over here, of course, because of location. So that's one of the things. The other downside, oh my goodness, we are like somewhere in the middle of nowhere, to put it. That's the best way to put it. Because we are maybe 4 to 6 hours from every large city, 3.5, 4 to 6 hours from every large city. So traveling, especially like when we're taking a flight and you want to go to the airport and you want to travel out, you have to go to Birmingham. Birmingham is about 3.5 hours from here on the train. Public transport is also not reliable. Buses are like 30 minutes, every 30 minutes, sometimes every hour. Weekends, even more unreliable. The train, we're at the end of the train line, guys. We're at the end of the train line. So it's just that one train. I find it very slow. So if you miss it, if it's cancelled, that's it. So that's a downside. Getting to airports, getting to major cities, we are quite a distance. We are quite far away. Also, there are things, of course, definitely then some shops, some stores you can't find here. All the basics you'll find, but then you have to order and then it has to be delivered. Of course, it can be delivered. That's the beauty of the UK infrastructure. Wherever you are in the UK, you can get whatever you need. The other downside, of course, is because it's a small town in a rural area, there are fewer work opportunities. So from the uni, you'll find most people after uni, they leave the town and go and work in other areas. And those who remain don't really get jobs that match their skills. So you'll get PhDs, you'll get highly skilled people like working in retail or just doing jobs to get by because there are not many companies or many industries here that can offer employment. So that's really a downside in this area. Yeah, but somehow we managed to get through. I'll be honest with you, despite that, like for my husband, his career grew immensely in this place and he really was able to travel. I was able to get a job in project management in my profession somehow, still in this town. So really I think we've enjoyed the best of both. In terms of we're able to advance our careers and we're able to still stay in a beautiful place, enjoy a slower pace of life, and all that. It's been really a rich experience. Um, there's the promotion of the Welsh language, especially in Ceredigion County. They've taken it to a higher level. So here there are Welsh medium schools. There are schools that offer the language of teaching is Welsh, and then there are English medium schools. But even English medium schools really have an emphasis on learning Welsh. So the young children, my daughter has some level of Welsh speaking, a little bit, not so much, But then, yeah, even as adults, you can take your Welsh classes, and you'll see most of the signs written in both Welsh and English because they're trying to promote both Welsh and English. So if you're looking for a slower pace of life, you're looking for nature, views, proximity to beaches, proximity to mountains and hiking areas, this is the place to be. If you're looking for a nice, slower pace to raise your family, a multicultural place to interact with different cultures, this is definitely the place. If you're looking for a place where you can integrate to the British culture and the Welsh culture, highly, highly recommend living in rural Wales, living in Aberystwyth. That has been our experience. That has been my experience. The downside, like I said, there are fewer opportunities, there are fewer work opportunities. You're far from major airports and major cities. You can still get some of the things delivered, but you're quite a distance. Public transport is not very reliable. So there's that element of isolation. So you may not be able to access as many opportunities as you would if you are closer to a city. But I leave it to you to judge. Would you consider a life in rural Wales? Would you consider a life outside the major cities in Britain? It has really been a blessing for us. We're leaving Wales. So stay tuned. I'll be able to give you more details. And I'd like to know from you, based on what I have told you, would you consider life in rural Wales? Would you consider life in a smaller town, quieter life? Or are you a city person and this is like Nana? But for us, it has really been a great experience. And it's a really nice place to live. It's far from big cities. It's in a rural place, but really multicultural. And I think the people really, really, really make the place. So we'll be making, we're about to make a move, and I will be sharing all that, and I'll be sharing my experience. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, please like the video, and let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see, what else you'd like to know about living in Wales or living in the UK.